What is up, everyone? Good evening. Good evening to you guys. It is Alexandra Francois. And listen, thank you guys so much for joining me and us later. I'm going to bring the guys on for part two of our Black men's health. Listen, it has been, part one was amazing. We had Herbert Conti and Chappelle Marshall with us we went in and Holy Spirit took over our discussion. It was powerful. We talked about the importance of the mental health and wellness of Black men and how they're targeted in society and nowadays in this time. And so they brought in such good just insight and practical things that you guys, as especially our Black men, can use and practicality in life. And so I'm excited because today we're talking about the physical part, the fitness realm, right? My industry. I love fitness. And I have two amazing personal trainers, certified personal trainers who are going to be joining me with this live. And we're going to talk about the benefits of physical fitness and also tie that in spiritually because this is the principles of fitness in faith. All right. And so if you haven't already, please share this live, grab friends, any male counterparts that you know, spouses, family, anybody that you know, grab them to come on this live to join us. And with no further ado, I'm going to bring the first trainer in, Mr. Mario Taylor. Mario, how you doing?
What's going on? What's good?
How are you? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me
It's
in
a
this
pleasure.
discussion.
It's a pleasure. I'm excited about how God's going to lead us into this ministry right now too.
Yes, I am super excited about that for sure. Yeah, Mario, can you tell the people a little bit about what you do and what your occupation is? Obviously, as a certified personal trainer, you do other things as well. Tell us what you're doing.
All right. So I am right now the lead massage therapist and personal trainer at the Four Seasons Hotel in Baltimore. Been there for almost 9 years, but personal training for the last 2 years. Massage therapist, I've been that for almost 15 years now.
Wow.
So been doing massages, working with athletes, professional people, and the normals, getting
Yeah.
them bodies right and relaxed. And then I'm also a certified health coach as well. So not only am I just tapping into your physical, I'm actually tapping
Yeah.
into what you're eating, what's the triggers and behind what you're eating, why you are acting this way, what causes this to happen. So all these tied into one. So I've been doing that for almost, my daughter's 9. So yeah, 9 years now.
Awesome, awesome. You are heavily credentialed and heavy in the fitness industry. So we're excited to have your expertise. So
Yes.
thank you again for joining us. And I'm going to bring our next person in, Mr. Kevin Franklin. Kevin, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? I'm super excited to be here and have this conversation. Definitely.
Yeah, it's so good to have you on, Kevin. Thank you so much for taking the time on a Friday evening. On a Friday evening to talk about this. Kevin, tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. So, just outside the coaching aspect, I've been doing a behavior counselor for emotionally disturbed students for about 10 plus years. Started in special ed since right out of college. So from there, definitely see the significance of just our of our Black men to be healthy and just how much our youth need it.
Yeah.
On the personal training and coaching aspect, been doing that for about 10 plus years. Now from personal training in the gym, I really dial in now with online coaching, specifically working with men of faith, driven like men of leadership who want to be at their optimal best, not just for themselves, but I like what I say, for their kingdom.
Yeah,
Super
definitely.
excited for this necessary conversation to get things moving and help my brothers out.
Yes, that's so good. Yeah, this is kingdom work. This is kingdom work.
Indeed.
We're having
Indeed.
kingdom discussion, which I'm extremely excited about. Listen to our viewers. Please share this. Like I said and mentioned at the beginning of this live, share it with your friends, especially your male friends. Black male friends to be specific, because we're going to dig deep into the physiological aspects of fitness and faith, and also, like I said, the spiritual. So with no further ado, let's get this thing started, guys. Y'all ready for this?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's have this conversation. So first question I've got, I'm going to start off with Kevin first.
All right.
As a Black man, Kevin, overall, why is your wellness so important to you?
I'm going to hear me preach the kingdom a lot.
Okay.
Why is it important for us is because it's bigger than us. I think a lot of times when we think wellness, we think about our own health. We want to, if we think fitness, we want to think like we want to look great in the mirror. We want to have that confidence and boldness. That's all great. But the next level is that we got to think of the legacy of our own, but also his kingdom, that we must be our optimal best because people are watching us. Once again, as a behavior counselor, I see the dynamics and the significance of the presence of a male leader, people that is there to teach our youth. And I'm learning, just being a product of it with my father, knowing that it matters. That we need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. Although we want to do, like, we want to grind and burn and like do so much work, multiple hours for them. That's great. But our presence, our livelihood matters most to the ones that we are dear, close and dear to.
Exactly.
You can, I'm going to go on a tangent, so please cut me off.
No, you're good. Go. Let it flow. Let it flow.
But I want you to think, just if you want to quickly reflect, like when you grow up, like it's those quality memories you have with those close and near to you. It's not about the finance. It's not about the wealth or definition of wealth, but it's those times that you had your, like, that present moment with you, that positive male figure or whoever in your life. And that's why wellness matters, because we are changing lives with your presence.
That's so good. Yeah, it's about changing lives.
Yes.
It's the impact. For sure. It is definitely about the impact. Mario, you want to tag along?
Yeah. I mean, he had a great definition of it already, but like wellness to me, it's important to me because, we see ourselves as the head of our households. And so when our kids are looking up to somebody, you don't want them influenced by somebody from outside. So it drives me to show them, this is what I do. This is what I do for you. It's not just about looking good. I mean, we want to look good, but we want to make sure the longevity goes on and my legacy just keeps going on and further forward. Like I was telling my kids, I'm not just here to be a protector for you. I'm just here to show you and guide you where you need to go in the long run.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And I love how you said that you were speaking to your kids about it too, because at the end of the day, it's we're passing this down generationally, right? We're not just keeping it for ourselves. We're not just, like we mentioned about just only looking good, right? It's about the legacy that we leave behind us after we're gone, right? The mindset. That's so good. I love that so much. So as we highlight and focus on overall mental and spiritual health, why is it important that we're discussing this topic, especially as a church? Go ahead, Mario. You tag on that one first.
As a church, we get sedentary. Like we don't always look forward to what's next to come. So we just kind of set in our own ways. And with the way that I think about fitness and wellness is just like, you have to be the example, and we don't have those type of examples to show what nutrition is looking like, because we've always been growing up on, I know, Southern hospitality for me, cornbread, like all the pig, all the hog maw, all that stuff. And it's not the same thing that we grew up, like my grandparents grew up on. The animals and the field and the soils, all that stuff is different now. So we have to be aware of what we're putting into our bodies so that we can be able to flourish and be able to do what we're supposed to be doing.
That's good. Yeah. That's very important. That's key to it, for real. Kevin, you want to put your input on that?
Absolutely. So first, just to answer your question, it's not being talked about enough in the church.
Yeah.
A lot of times that we will talk about like financial, like we want to be blessed with finances, or anything else, but we don't talk about like our health.
Yeah.
We're just going off the back in this COVID season, like we don't talk about like just how much of a blessing just our health and wellness compared to those who are just not as fortunate of just getting through that season with
Yeah.
this dire losses and so forth. In addition, people don't like to say it, but our image matters, especially being people of the church. Like our presence, our like how we look, what other people, if we're trying to call other people to the church, what are we radiating to them with our physique, with our image, that they want to come closer to the Lord because we are God's people. Like, so it starts with us. It starts with how our energy, how our presence radiate to them, and we are visual creatures. So the first thing we see is what, like visually, if people are on the outside, they will see us visually and what we represent. How do we radiate that energy of our faith and how vibrant we are through our bodies that transcends, well, from our spirit to our bodies.
That's so good. That's so good. And I always thought about this, like when it comes to I go to a doctor, for example, right? Because we are healthcare professionals in a sense, right? We don't have PhDs, but we teach people how to live healthier lifestyles, right? And to an extent, right? And so if I go to a doctor, I'm like, I'm not choosing a doctor who's overweight. Right? I'm not choosing a doctor who doesn't care about their health and that is telling me to care about my health. That's contradictory. What? I mean, that makes no sense at all, right? So how are you telling me as a doctor, as one who is with the highest degree understanding the well-being of the human body, not taking care of your body? So I love how we talked about the self-image. That's very, very important, right? We got to not only talk the talk, but we also have to walk the walk. That's so crucial. That's good. I love that so much. Let's move on to the next one. We're moving on pretty quickly with this. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys. We've seen on the news about, and we talked about this in part one. I wanted to see what y'all's insight and expertise was on the police brutality and such, and why you guys believe that the lives of Black men are so targeted around the world, not just in America, but around the world. Kevin, you want to go ahead and answer that one?
That's I've been pondering around this one. Like, can I go second? Let me just wrap
No
around.
problem. Go ahead, Mario.
I feel it's tough because you don't want to say that everything is geared towards us. You don't want to say that we're targeted out there, but there's a certain aspect that there is that sin of envy, that is people want to be like us, but they want to have power over us.
Yeah.
And it's like it's hard to put into words on how we can, as Black men, gather together. At the same time, we are not always together as well. So
that is very true. Yeah.
When they see us, they can attack us because we're not together like the Jewish or the Muslims. Like we have to be our own entity first before we can be able to surpass all this animosity towards us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like crabs, sometimes we can be like crabs in a barrel pulling each other down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. And that's been very tough because if you do look at other cultures, for example, you look at especially the Asian community, and I'm speaking more so in America, the Asian and the Hispanic community, right? It's almost like they tend to migrate together, right? When it comes to business, when it comes to just everything, even, and granted, we do the same in communities, but it almost feels like it's systemic. Like they put us in the same areas. They put us in impoverished areas and the redlining and things like that. Yeah, it's definitely important as especially Black men, that there is a unity there for sure. Kevin, you good? You got some insight now?
One thing that came to mind that I usually like to say is Black men, I feel like we are a dying breed. Like a lot of times, we like just quality men. It just
Yeah,
seems like we are at a premium, and a lot of times it's what Mario kind of says, that we kind of just we're not as unified as the other cultures, the other faith, like Jewish and so forth. That we, as you like, kind of put ourselves down in the barrel, and it's hard to like when it comes to police brutality. It's hard to like for me. It's hard to say like much about police brutality. Obviously, what we see, but we don't like hold ourselves accountable enough a lot of times too. Like we gotta call ourselves out. We gotta hold our own. We see this, and it's great to point. We all want to point the finger, but when it comes to us, our people, we gotta make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable. Those who doing us or like doing wrong, knowing that it's a reflection on all of us, and knowing that like, hey, we gotta do our part. If you're not speaking up, like there's something that you can do differently to make sure that we can be seen differently,
yeah,
because what's on the media is going to be portrayed on the media also, but that does not always represent us. That's not going to represent quality men, or never, rarely it's representative of quality men that like us, who are trying to do better, trying to raise this kingdom up. It's usually the opposite, and so we need to make sure that we push
that's
and
good.
take on that leadership role to really make sure that we hold our brothers accountable, and make sure that this well, do our part first, more or less, and then maybe be closer to for us to be heard when it comes to the police brutality and when it comes to bringing things to the table.
Yeah, yeah, because it's not really. Go ahead, Mario. You got something to say?
No, yeah. I was just gonna say, because we get together when after the
Yes.
before after everything has happened, but then few weeks, few months down the road, then we're back to our separate
Yes.
pods again.
Yes.
Then it's like mind-boggling, because it's like we do this for a certain amount of time, but why can't we do this consistently? Like I
Exactly.
know I listen to the radio every now and then, and I hear, oh, Tuesdays we're going to support Black businesses, because we have the wealth. Like
Most definitely.
without a doubt, we have the wealth and the power behind us to shut down businesses if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But it's like we do this on every Tuesday, but what's the outcome? There's nothing said about what's coming after that, or what we did to make that business better.
That's true. Yeah.
Grow.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And it's so easy to forget. It is so easy to forget. We start thinking about life, and this is kind of a segue to our next question and what we're going to talk about next, because of this, with the stress of being a Black man, being one that is, we talked about in part one about, overseeing the family, being that pressure of the Black man being strong, that pressure of the Black man, making sure that he's crossing his T's, dotting his I's, hustling, right? So let's talk about practical ways and steps that men can take towards healing from things like depression, anxiety, and stress. What are y'all's insight? I'll start off with you first, Mario, on what men, especially Black men, what they can do to get out of that depression, get out of that pit, that burden, that barrier that tends to stop men from moving forward.
Yeah. I 100% talk to somebody, because we don't do enough for talking without it being like, oh, this is what I got, this is what I did, this, that, and the third. But like being able to, like, I have a couple of homeboys that if I need to, I sit there and I'm like, yo, this is what I'm going through.
That's good.
Like, this is exactly what I need to hear. What's your point of view? Did I do this? What am I doing wrong? Yeah. Because you're so much, like I said, I got 4 kids. So the weight of having 4 kids on my back, I get them to the next level, to whether it be in school, whether it be in extracurricular activities, health, wellness, all those things kind of, I'm carrying it on my shoulders. So I know that I've only been a parent for almost 11 years now.
For sure.
there's other men that's been doing this a whole lot longer than me. So I rely on them to give me some insight on, am I on the right track with my kids?
Yeah.
Because if not, then I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong.
For sure. Most definitely. That brotherhood and having people to talk to is so important. The Bible talks about when we confess our sins to one another, there's healing there. There's healing there. That's good. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay. So first, like two things. So first, we're trainers here, right? Work out, exercise. When it comes to relieving stress, anxiety, like we neglect how much the physical body can help alleviate the mental stress of depression, anxiety, and so forth. The biggest factor that most guys don't acknowledge is that the more that we stress out, it's killing our testosterone levels. Like it's plummeting, and it's been plummeting over the course of 30 years or so. Studies that testosterone levels naturally as a whole as men is much higher back in the 1980s, back compared to what it is now.
Yeah, that's good.
Knowing that fact, knowing just like exercise naturally alleviates stress and so forth. The second thing I was going to say, while I say we talking about kingdom, you got to first acknowledge that I always say the king eats first, because there's no kingdom if there's no king driving the vision.
That's good.
So, like the fact is, we want to do so much for so many people, add the stress, but you got to find that time to take care of you, dedicate that time, make it a priority, non-negotiable, that you need to be at your best to make sure that you're not feeling depressed, that you're not anxiety. Take that time to exercise, work out, meditate, breathe. I can go on, but the fact is, like, you need to dedicate and prioritize yourself. And it's hard in this world, but we got to make sure that it's a non-negotiable and latch on the kingdom mindset to make sure that we solidify this.
Good. That's so good. Yeah. Let's talk about resting. Like we just go. You know, we talk about one of the things at first, when I started to learn the importance of, because this is a season where God is teaching me about rest. When I started to learn about the importance of rest, I was just like, you know, we call New York the city that never sleeps. And I was like, that's terrible. Right? That's so terrible. Like, now let's talk about Kevin, you started to really bring up how stress and the physical aspects of how it deteriorates the body over time. Let's talk about spiritually, right? What does stress do to us spiritually?
Shoot, man. Well, I think we all like stress. When we're in our most stress, we're in a anxious, fearful state. And we already know the Lord did not give us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And when we're stressed, we put ourselves in a really compromising position to walk the path that we're called to walk as children of faith. Just as a whole, just with that said, like, spiritually, it's draining. It makes it harder to get into your word, get into your book, just not to just be I don't like to say, but be a zombie at service instead of just actually living the word, which if you go through scripture, the word will constantly tell you to make sure that you're getting rest, call to yourself. Prioritize that time for yourself to make sure that you are at your best. I forgot, one of my guys I talked to said he wants to make sure that his body is able to match his spirit, that he wants to radiate even more through his physicality. But at the end of the day, it's a big hindrance spiritually when we just don't first we got to acknowledge it, but don't attack this factor of stress, which is, we all know we stress, but we don't really take it. It's hard to take it seriously sometimes. Yeah,
that's so good. Mario, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, he pretty much hit it, man. I was going back to the other question. I just popped in my head. You know, we taking the time to rest, but taking the time to actually get out. My trainer, he taught. I think it was right at the beginning of the pandemic. He went out and was walking just a mile a day.
That's good.
So I was like, man, what's this all about? Like, what is this? What are you really doing? He's like, just try it. Just go out there and walk a mile. I kid you not. Like, being able to be out, one, in nature, two, in quietness, somber, like fresh air, Like we're trainers here, so fresh air, getting that the oxygen going in through our bodies, and then on another level, being able to talk to God unconditionally, just walking. Like it takes me. I have a loop now. If I haven't got my mile in, I get it. I have a 20-minute loop. Boom.
That's good.
Get my way to talk to God real quick, and then I'm good. But like I've been doing it now. I think today will be 630 something days.
Keeping count.
Wow.
So, like every day on my Instagram, I'll show you that I'm going out for a mile a day.
That's awesome.
And it's something that he showed me, and he's not really a huge spiritual person, but it was something that I was like, okay, this 20 minutes a day just gives my mind a chance to rest.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good. You call that like prayer walking.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Yeah. Being able, and Mario, you also mentioned about just quietness, right? Not having to deal with hearing the noise of life. And I'm sure even for you, having so many children, right? Not hearing daddy, 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 daddy every 5 seconds. That's so good. Yeah, we just need time for ourselves and just to be with God and intimacy, right? And growing in relationship with him. That's beautiful. I love that a lot. Yeah. All right, let's go on into the next question. So I'm going to go ahead and skip over the COVID-19 question because at this point we've entertained COVID way too much. Way too much. So as men who are currently active and pursuing good health, since starting your journey, how has being fit benefited you? Go ahead, Kevin, since I feel like you got the answer with this one.
How has fitness benefited you? It's a lot, and I don't want to seem like it's boastful or anything like that. That's the last thing, but it's a lot of times you radiate a certain energy when it comes to fitness. People gravitate towards you. As I've learned this early in coaching when I was just coaching football kids, that just based off your energy, your presence, people gravitate towards you, that your words, your influence becomes that much more powerful and extravagant because people, like I said, people are visual creatures. That image is everything. And even when I was not as vocal as I am now on here, there's this unique presence that people wants to be around. So in addition, it comes with confidence with it. You get a little bit more bolder. There's energy that naturally comes when your body is fueled with the right things. And the best part, once again, with going to Kingdom, you're an influence. Like people will start picking up on it. I'm once again a product of my father. I'm a product, and it's just knowing how many kids that I've influenced, whether they speak the language, who I've taught, mentor. My health and wellness has placed a great impact and influence on that.
That is so good. That's so good. Yeah. People come up to you and they ask you questions about, and at first I used to be like, man, stop it. Why people always asking me questions about fitness? Like, right? And they'd be like, but what are you doing? And they just want to talk to you and want to know, how are you healthy? Like, how do you do it? Right. And you're able to open the door, right? To open the door, to plant that seed. That's so good. Mario?
Yeah, same thing. Like people gravitate to what they see. Like we've been talking self-image and what we appear. If you're coming out here and you're just in baggy clothes and you're a trainer, they're like, what are you training? Like, what are you doing? But like when you come out and you got your nice fitted shirt on or your shirt off and you got the legs out, the guns out.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, how can I get like you? What are you doing? What can I do? So the benefits of it is like my kids, like I said, I keep going back to them because they're my legacy. They see what I do and they're like, yo, can I go with you? Can I go to the gym? Can we? My oldest, he's like, I want to play football. I'm like, dude, people that's going in your age been playing football since they was like 5. He's like, if we gotta do it, we gotta start conditioning. Like, like, all right, let me think about it. And I'm like, okay, we'll think about it. But like seeing my kids now I've just started getting them into the athletics world now. Seeing them wanting to be out there and get out there and build, really like pursue this, it's been like mind blowing and mind opening for me to be like, okay, this is what I need to do in order for you to get even better.
Good.
The recovery that they have to do, the conditioning, the cardio, the strength building, all those things play into each other. So it's to answer the question, it's great for me.
That's good. That's so good. And it teaches them, Mario, a level of discipline.
Oh yeah.
This walk requires discipline. It requires consistency. It requires a level of determination and tenacity, right? And so I love that when children especially are interested in the lifestyle, you're able to utilize it as an example of being disciplinary. And I know for me it was like that. It was like, if I'm going to be disciplined in my fitness, I might as well be disciplined in my spiritual walk. I might as well be disciplined in my finances. I might as well be disciplined in everything, because Pastor Corey, who is our pastor, we're all partners at All Nations Worship Assembly, Baltimore, which we love our leaders so much and honor them. Apostle Yolanda and Pastor Corey. One of the things that I mentioned in the other lives, I think I said this in almost every live, but it was so powerful because he was like, people think they discipline because they say they discipline in one thing, but it's about being disciplined in other areas. And I really believe, like you guys just said, that fitness allows you to be disciplined in every area of your life. That's like a very good and powerful thing. Now, I'm going to go to you, Mario, because you are a certified or a licensed massage therapist, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're into the massage therapy, which is like, heaven when you get a therapist or a session. I meant to say, speak on the benefits of massage therapy and its effects on the human body.
So I'll go the opposite way. I'm going to talk about how I give my massages. So
okay, cool.
In my session with you, I listen to what you're saying.
Good.
I listen to what's going on with you. But then when I actually put my hands onto you, it's a different aspect. I go into the spot where because I can't give myself a massage. Yeah. So I put myself in your position. I put myself on the table and like, all right, you told me what's going on, but let me see what's actually going on. That's so good. You could be telling me, my neck and shoulders because I sit behind the computer all day. But here's the thing. You've been sitting all day too. Your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, all that's kind of messed up. You even may be crossing your legs. So you're cutting off circulation. So I get into it deeply. And so then I get into the aspect of, okay, God's giving me this energy to give to you. I'm here. They call me magic hands, healing hands, all those different vibes. But I'm like, God, show me what I'm supposed to be doing to this person. Give me the answers to help open their mind up to what they're doing to their body continuously to help them repair themselves. So I go into that mindset, and then I go into the session. I'm like, okay, you told me that your neck and shoulders will work. But what are you doing? Are you sitting in the car all day? Yeah, I travel. Okay. Your glutes need to be activated.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah. So it's all these different entities that's going on with the body that people aren't aware of, because the only thing that's going off is the things that's bothering them.
Yeah.
So my thing is to figure out what is the cause of those things, but what other underlying problems are going on to help you get better as well.
Yeah, that's so good, because it all connects. If you have neck pain, like you said, you're probably, your posture is probably off from your hips down. Like, that's so good. I love that, how you look at it in a broader scheme instead of just like the neck and just working on the neck and that's it.
Exactly.
That's really, really good. I love that so much. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This is so good. To my viewers, thank you guys so much for viewing. Please share this live, especially as I mentioned in the beginning of the live, with your male friends, family, spouse, boyfriend, whoever you have in your life who's especially a Black man. This is a great conversation that we're having, and we're getting candid about the importance of the health of the Black men. We need our men healthy. It's important that our men are healthy, not even just physically, but also, most importantly, spiritually, for sure. So talk about, Kevin. I want you to talk about with when it comes to fitness in general. How does fitness impact the confidence of a Black man?
I'm sorry if I keep doing that.
No, you're good.
The confidence of a Black. I think it naturally comes. I think it radiates. Once again, once you start feeling great, it's not even about, like, you'll see things in the, like, results when they come, but when you start feeling great, you'll feel like you have a boost of energy. Like, it naturally just makes you want to do more. It makes you feel a little bit more vibrant, more radiant. And a lot of times people will notice and pick up on it based off just what you're doing. You might not even realize you've been doing much, but it's not even like the weight loss or whatever it may be, but it's just how you carry yourself a little bit more, your energy. You're not worried about what's going to break down if you have knee issues, stuff like that. You feel stronger because you are actually improving and enhancing yourself. So that naturally carries over, instead of putting ourselves in a place of weakness, which I feel like our men, we don't feel strong no more. Like, it's okay. I feel like strength is a bad word. I love the word strength. Like, strong is one of the most powerful words that we need to exuberate as the head, as leaders, that our that's the standard, that we are the standard of radiating that. And I think once we have that, like, fitness, that impact, like that easily radiates, that you can't, there's no turning it off. We don't want to turn it off. It's just, it naturally shows when you feel it. And once again, it's not just the physical, or like seeing the physical change, but it's just how you carry yourself overall when it all comes together.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Mario?
The confidence, I go to the sports world with that. Whereas we have to have that confidence and that swagger almost to make sure that we get to that next level. That we have to. I was talking to my nephew about this. He grew up, and we just did an obstacle course race over in Kennedyville with Savage Race, and the whole mentality of him was that he saw this white guy take off, and he was like, instantly a confidence in him was like, I need to go after him to show him that I'm better than him. And I was like, you know what? I get that. Like, we have that mentality that if we look better, that we can be better than anything else. And he's getting to that muscular state now. And so he's like, I need to show off. And the great thing about those races is that I was telling him that it showcases what you are preparing yourself for. Like,
that's it. Yeah.
It's great to have weight loss. It's great to get your goals, but like, what is there actually out there that's going to show you your strength, show you your testament? And this was one of those things. And it was like, we want to get out there and we just want to drive and showcase. And he was just like, it's my new thing now. Like, I want to get out there and train just so I can go out here and beat people, show them that I'm confident enough to be out here with you. It's not just a white man's sport, but I can get out here and show you that we can get this through.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. In the sports world, that confidence, they will truck and like, you just like, okay, like, you just go. And one of the things that I was thinking about was the story of Daniel, right? When Daniel was like, hey, feed me I want to be fed the vegetables and water, and see if I will be stronger and even more better than those who eat the king's food, right? And so just that confidence of knowing that he would be stronger, and that he would be able, and I'm sure he was moving better. I'm sure he was they were performing much better than the other guys, because not only did they have that physical advantage, but they also had that spiritual advantage as well. That's super good. That's so good. If any of our viewers, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to start asking them now, and then near the end, whatever questions we have, we'll definitely address them, and we'll answer them to the best of our capability. So let's talk about gym myths, guys.
Okay.
Those gym myths, right? So, you hear about taking all the protein in the world to get big, creatine, all this GNC and Vitamin Shop or Vita Shop's got everybody's money with supplementation and steroids and just everything, right? What is your perspective? I'll start with you, Kevin. Okay. What is your perspective on building strength and growing muscle the right way?
Building strength and growing muscle the right way. My thoughts, you said what my thoughts are?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
It's great if you know how to do it the right way. A lot of times, which we kind of just alluded to, that we don't know the right way. We don't know the right system.
Yeah.
When you're talking about myths, the biggest thing is that we need to work out every day, or at least physically, like heavy lifting, resistance training every single day. Like what we used to do back in high school. We go back to the glory days of football, wrestling, basketball, whatever may be. And that's where our mind goes to, because that's where our mind reverts to when it comes to our fitness.
Yes.
A lot of times we got to think, especially as we get older, we can focus on quality strength, so that we put in a few workouts just with heavy resistance training to build that strength, but also, once again, focus on the quality rest and recovery that really helps build the muscle growth.
It does.
Boost the testosterone level is usually due to the sleep, our quality of sleep. It don't need to always be the duration, but make sure that you're doing the little things to build the quality of sleep. And that's where the strength comes from. A lot of times, I'm the average probably 5-6 hours of sleep naturally. Just for me. So it's all about just dialing in the quality, but doing the right way. When it comes to, a lot of times with the market, everything's over the top. A lot of times it's usually make sure you get in the right amount of nutrients, the right calories and calories if you're trying to gain weight or lose weight, the calorie deficit. But it's all about recovery. Protein is meant for recovery. So everything is about how you and focus on that instead of thinking gym, workout multiple times and so forth.
Yeah, that's so good. That's perfect that you highlighted sleep. Sleep. And that was great insight on the, not necessarily the duration, but how, right? The quality of sleep.
Yes.
That's really good. I like that a lot. Mario?
Yeah, double backing on that. Like, recovery is the key to it all, because if you don't give your muscles a time to recover and relax, then you're just defeating the purpose of lifting.
Exactly.
I know for myself, I go more the scientific route, where I'll have them. There's a company, I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but they give you your supplements and everything off of your blood type. So you send them your blood sample, and they create your powders, your supplements, all those stuff that you're not even thinking that you're missing, like your vitamin D, because people aren't going out in the sun a lot. Your B12s, all those small things they put into your package, and they send it to you, and you have a month of using it. But like he said, rest is huge. Like, if you're not giving your body a chance to recover and actually physically rest, then you're doing yourself injustice. Like, I have a client tonight who's coming in for a recovery session because she's getting ready for her race tomorrow. So I'm working with her to get her body the rest that it needs, so that she can be at 100% or even more tomorrow when she goes out for her track events.
That's so good. And you see, and depending on what you're training for too, because most of the time you see now on Instagram and stuff that you have these bodybuilders on Instagram and social media who are in the gym for like hours, right? Like hours. And granted, there actually scientifically is a time where your muscles stop that synthesis after tearing it so much. And the worst thing that can happen to your body is overtraining. Like that overtraining stage, when it's hit that cap, that wall, like it's definitely it's a long thing to recover from. And it's painful. It's really painful. So the emphasis on rest is so good and it's so important, right? And even when it comes to the structure of how men work out, right? I know when I watch men in the gym, they're just like, it almost seems like they're, especially those that don't know what they're doing, they're touching every machine, and it's like, no, break up your segments, like, do upper body one day, lower body the other. Or if you're going to do full body days, you don't have to touch every machine and every equipment in the gym structure. And that's why it's important to have a personal trainer, right? So I'm going to go into that. Tell us the benefits of working with a personal trainer. I'm going to start off with you first, Mario.
I say the benefits is you, just like we talked about earlier today. You don't want to go to a doctor who's overweight, and not and giving you stuff that you're supposed to be doing, but your trainer's not doing it. So
exactly,
we're here to basically guide you in the direction of what your goals are. So your short-term goals, then your long-term goals. A lot of people think their short-term goals is, I want to look like Jordan Wood,
yeah.
And I want to look like that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Time out. First off, we're not going to get you to Jordan Wood tomorrow.
Yeah.
But what's the steps that we got to do to get you to that is what we're here for. Making sure that you're eating right. Because really, the workout is a workout, but what you're feeding to your body is what is actually going to get you to what you're looking like.
That's good. That's perfect. Yes. Kevin?
Benefits of a trainer or coach, as I like to say.
Yeah, coach. Yep.
I like to say, because what I do usually is I'm coaching online, so it's not even about the gym. It's nice. It's like teaching technique, but also we want to make sure that it's sustainable. So the benefit is that you learn the skill set to make this a lifestyle habit.
That's good.
I just got in a Five Guys burger, so I'm not like the neat freak, super healthy person. But the fact is, you got to learn the system of sustainability. Just like we all go to some course of school, college to get a degree to learn a skill set, your health and wellness is a skill set.
That's good.
So the fact is, like, we are here, we are coaches, teaching mentors of teaching you the skill set to make this a lifestyle habit. So I'm more in depth with the gym 3 days a week, more or less. I'm full body based, make it sustainable instead of burning yourself 7 something times a week, but also learn the system of the right habits, learn how to win the morning, learn how to decipher if you have kids or not, your kids' food with the cookies and stuff and your food, and know your food trip night, know the balance, and know how to build a habit. And especially with coaches, trainers, whoever, accountability is everything, because we all need that support. Iron sharpens irons, of course.
That is so good, guys. That is perfect. Yeah, and we mentioned about when it comes to the structure, right? We're able as personal trainers to give that structure, to give. So when you're looking at reaching your goal or going to your goal, right, or getting to your goal more so, instead of you figuring out everything and trying to Google everything and trying to go through the ins and outs of finding out whatever works, we're here to make sure that path is straight, so you get straight to your goal and not have to try all these gimmicks and all these things that they have nowadays to get your money, pretty much, really. So good work on that and answering that question, guys. Let's see. We have a question from a viewer. Awesome. Miss Phoebe Taylor. Do you have more energy with a plant-based diet than a meat-based diet? Go ahead, Mario. You answer that question.
So I played around with this. I took myself off of red meats, pork, all that stuff. I still did chicken every now and then I did more fish. I wasn't 100% plant-based, but I did plant-based supplements and plant-based protein powders, all those things.
Yeah,
I felt like I had more energy than I did not when I was eating meat. And because if you think about it, the meats that we eat are dead, and we're cooking dead food. So plants are already alive. They're living.
Wow. Okay.
The people tell you to go get what is it? Omega-3s from fish oil.
Yeah.
But it's already in sea moss. It's already, all these things are already living.
That's a good point.
That we're eating the second portion of somebody else. So in my opinion, I get more energy when I had more plant-based stuff.
That's so good. So you're saying that the benefit would be to literally kill the animal right then and there and eat the meat immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when we look at the way meat is even distributed in America, and how that process is to even get to the home, from killing it to the chemicals to getting to the home, like the way we do meat in America is very interesting, and in my opinion, extremely unhealthy. It's an industry that is thriving off of hormones and things like that. So Kevin, go ahead and talk more about that when it comes to your insight on the plant-based diet or meat-based diet.
In regards to energy, it's funny because right now I'm in kind of moving a transition where I'm not really overly pressed about the food intake, more or less about how we set the tone mentally and physically for our day. I usually do a lot of times we want to focus on the physical food and stuff like that. A lot of times we gotta be mindful of the energy burners, like what drains us, which is our stress, our anxiety.
That's a good point.
That thinking overly is stressful, that we exert much more energy mentally than actually physically, especially in this era. And just the thought of working out, not knowing what to do, is burning your energy and wasting your time and energy and burning you out like crazy. So what I usually do, and I've tried the plant-based, and as I said, I just had a giant burger. So I
didn't want to call you out.
It's all good. But it's really just how you set the tone. So I'm more dedicated to one in the morning of like how I set my day when it comes to waking up, my meditation, my early morning walking with my time of peace, and really just mentally preparing yourself of just turning off, refueling, resetting. We neglect the power of just breathing and just like really like inhaling, exhaling, and know how we can just take the time to just receive energy doing that. And then when it comes to ingesting food, a lot of times we neglect that it takes energy to digest our food. Red meat, any type of protein, it takes longer to digest food. So we naturally feel sluggish and slower. So naturally, I do a form of intermittent fasting. I can make it biblical sometimes if I want to, but like I feel at my most like energetic peak when I'm in a fasted state.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. And there is, and I'm so glad you mentioned that about fasting, especially spiritual fasting. There is tremendous benefits of spiritual fasting when it comes to your overall health. It's almost like a reset. It does a reset to the body, right? Not only does it do it spiritually, but even physically. Yeah. I know I feel my best after, or when it comes to working out. My heavier workout days are when I'm actually fasting. Spiritually, and I feel good. I feel amazing. Of course, because I've been doing it for a while now, so I'm able to do that. I don't suggest it to our viewers. I don't suggest it if you're not someone who works out regularly to fast, and especially to fast and then work out at high intensity levels. But I agree with that for sure. And for me, I've tried it too, Mari. I've tried both. I've tried the plant-based diet and the meat. And I believe that one of the things that I gathered from it was my mindset, really. Now, we can agree that processed food is just not good for you, right? However, I'm also a big fan of treating yourself every once in a while, right? Yeah, right. Making sure that you're not taking yourself away completely from the things you love. Because I'm going to eat pizza. I'm going to have cake. I'm going to have brownies and ice cream. Rita's is my place. However, I'm not going to have it every single day. That's right. Right? I'm going to treat myself. And for me, as I grow disciplined in my fitness, it's going to be like once a week type of thing, right? So that's really good. I love that, guys. That's really, really good. We have another question. We got two other questions, actually. We have a viewer who's asking, what does your meditation and or stretching routine look like? Ooh, who wants to, that's Miss Phoebe again. Who wants to answer that one?
I'll go for it. You waiting for me, Mario?
Mario was like,
So meditation. Let's say, what does meditation and stretching look like?
Yeah,
So,
your stretching routine look like. Yep.
Okay. So I'm not overly big on stretching. I'm used to my body's. I'm used to my body. I'm fully aware of my body doing this for almost all my life. So I do very little stretching here and there. But meditation, similar to what Mario does, I have my walk of peace a lot of times. My walk and just silent, listen to the birds, trees, and and just take it in. A lot of times to see where your mind goes and then recenter and just take that in. And then a lot of times, if it might be my walk or before my walk, I do a prayer of gratitude. So a lot of time it's just instead of just saying good morning, thank you for just this day, thank you for life, thank you for the air in my lungs, for movement, my limbs, simple things, and just be grateful. Having built waking up with just a sense of grace and gratitude alleviates. First, you can't be in a state of gratitude and stressed out at the same time. So it takes away that stress right there. A lot of times when it comes to meditation, I'll just focus on visioning. Once again, I talk about the vision of kingdom. So where do I want to be moving forward to this day? How do I win my morning? How do I win my day? What are my big accomplishments? And then at the end of the day, just what's something special I want to do? So at the end of the day, it's a combination of things. But initially, when it comes to like meditation aspect, it's really about just enjoying the peace first thing when you wake up and start taking that time for yourself.
Yeah, that's very important as believers, because meditation can be taken with the new age and everything going on with that witchcraft and stuff. It can be deviated in a different direction. But I love how, Kevin, you were saying that you make sure that you are intentional about thanking God for the day, and keeping it about Him. And most importantly, that's really, really good. Mario?
Yeah, same thing. Like I say, I take my walk every day religiously almost now, where it's like my talk with God. Like it's where I brainstorm, it's where I dump things. I put things on God instead.
Yeah, that's good.
Go out. As far as stretching as well, I foam roll probably, like all of us, we probably foam roll like twice every 2 months.
Yeah. Or a year. Twice a year.
So my thing is I bought myself a steam sauna. So for my clients as well, I bought a steam sauna. So that way I can get in there if I'm feeling tight, my muscles I can't get a massage in. That's my like little go-to. I take an extended shower where I stretch in the shower, let the water hit my muscles a little bit.
That's good. That's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, just something different. Because we all don't have the time where we just want to sit there and stretch and do yoga and all those things. Yeah. Like we're all moving people. Like it's either you get up early in the morning to do your stretching and yoga, or you just don't do it.
Yeah.
So, those are my go-tos. Like my walk, I do that, and then, like I said, I have my steam sauna or sit in a sauna as well to just kind of let my muscles get loose if I need to.
Yeah, I'm big on flexibility, though I don't do it as often as I should as well. However, I do know the benefits, especially as you get older, right? Mm-hmm. Especially as you grow in age, to just be able to have full range of motion, because it's going to get harder to reach up and grab that overhead can in the cabinet. It's going to get a little harder to sit down in a chair, or even to just step out of the car as you get older. But I believe in the when you get to that age of because many people, it's all based off the person's for sure. It's a routine that I think we should apply at all times with our clients. But after 50 years old, it's like, okay, let's make sure that our full range of motion is intact for sure. That's a great question. I love that. Next question. We got another question. Is intermittent fasting safe to do on a regular basis? That is a great question. Who wants to tag on that one first?
I'll take it.
I got an answer, but I just want to hear his answer first.
I know, right? Yeah.
All right. Is it safe on a regular basis? Absolutely. A lot of times, our body is more in tune when we are in a fasted state. Once again, digesting foods takes energy. Now, starting out, you can definitely, there's different variations fast. I always encourage people at the minimum do 12-hour fast, which is like 8 to 8. You got the standard 16-8, which is skipping breakfast, which a lot of times the benefit of that is that a lot of times breakfast food is not the healthiest food, which benefits eating lunch food. So you have the pancakes. Oh, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Let's move on. But, and then if you want to go more in depth with like the 24, it's you got to make sure that you're still getting the quality nutrients in.
That's
so
good.
Especially if you're building strength, which everybody should be encouraged to build strength, the quality, get enough nutrients of protein, get your quality calories intake, and make sure you're not under eating. A lot of the biggest downfall for intermittent fasting is that people under eat trying to lose weight, but it's not about that. It's more about still getting quality and getting your nutrients in throughout the process.
That is super good. Yes. Stop under eating. That's it. Stop under eating. Go ahead, Mario.
So I use, when I do intermediate fasting, I have an app on my phone called, I think it's Zero. And Zero has it to where you can scale whether or not you do sun up to sundown, the 12 hours, the 16 hours, 24. So yeah, as long as you're getting your nutrients in, I say ease your way into it. I wouldn't say, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna go do it and be crashing out because you got a headache because you're not drinking enough water and all those things. So I always say try to ease your way into it if you're going to do it.
That is perfect. It's because we with the fitness industry, especially when we're starting a journey, we like to go from zero. We talked about this 0 to 100. Like we'd be like, let me just go straight in to everything, right? It's definitely a process. It's definitely a process with intermittent fasting. And I love, Kevin, how you talked about the different types when it comes to like the 12-hour and the 8-hour, the different increments. What about those who aren't able to do, because to jump in a 12-hour intermittent fast is that can be pretty hefty for someone just now starting into the journey. What could you suggest how to ease their way into that fasting?
Pick your days. It don't need to be every day.
Nope.
I fast right now 4 days a week.
That's good.
Usually the weekends are usually easier. Like just knowing that, weekends, family time, might be kids out for, and like you want to go and eat all that good food. Like, no, it's like, that's when you need to put the restrictions on it. But usually I do one weekend day and then just pick your days and test things out, see how you feel. And a lot of times you won't get more hunger. Hunger is usually more of a mental block, usually where
that's a good point.
During certain times of the day, we just naturally get hungry and then it'll pass.
Yeah.
So just go through the motions and gauge how you feel. A lot of times we forget to just take time to see how our body really feels. Are we hungry or are we just thinking about food just because?
That's such a good point. The psychological part of it, right? Because we get hungry when we're bored. I don't know about y'all, but I get hungry when I'm bored.
Mm-hmm.
When we're not being intentional about being active or we're just sitting around. So that's a great point, Kevin. Good stuff. If y'all have any more questions, please bring them in. They started flowing. The questions started flowing in, which was great. Please don't be shy and ask as many questions as you want to, guys. And I went ahead and put, oh man, it didn't save it. Dang it. Because my bad. I was supposed to put, let me put their Instagram up so that you guys can follow wellness. So you guys can follow their handles on Instagram and ask them any questions or even get their services for sure. And it's K Frank _ WK Pro.
That is my protocol. That's my 12-week protocol. I call it the Worthy King protocol. Once again, we talk about kingdom and our male brothers being at their optimal best so they can expand their vision of the kingdom, not just for them, but their family, loved ones, everything that they speak into, touch, and that involves them.
That's awesome. I love that so much. Let me make sure that this is clear and that you guys can see that. Yeah, if y'all have any questions for them, please feel free to reach out to them personally on Instagram. I'll also tag them on Facebook as well. Y'all, this was great. This was a great conversation. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time to talk about this very serious and important discussion about our health. And we're highlighting for May mental health, awareness. So I believe that the timing of this was perfect. This is on God's heart, and He is very intentional about making sure that He expresses to us like, hey, I need y'all to be healthy. And so He's using us. Thank you for being available to be used to talk about this topic. Great stuff. If you guys, like I mentioned again, we do have a question. A question just popped up. Does hydration packets break your fast? Oh, that's a good question. Does hydration packets break your fast? Anybody use those hydration packets?
What exactly is a hydration packet are we referring to?
Yeah,
that's like liquid IVs, or are we talking like the IVs that you get hooked up to?
IV packets. Does hydration IV packets break your fast? That's from Phoebe.
I'm actually unsure. Usually the fasting rule, as long as it's under sometimes 50 calories or 25 calories, it does not break your fast. I usually just go to 0-calorie drinks, water. There's some 0-calorie energy drinks if you want. Black coffee, tea are key things that most people use when it comes to fasting. Plus the caffeine helps satiates the appetite every now and then for those who get that hunger craving.
Yeah, that's a good. And that was liquid IV.
Okay.
Mario, you want to tag on?
Yeah, I'm just doubling back what he said. I can't the calorie intake for liquid IV. I know that it's there for you for rehydrating, but it's more so like after a dehydration period of like recovering yourself. If you're excluding a lot of sweat, that is there for you to rehydrate yourself. So I think of it more of a rehydration more so than something to do while you're fasting.
That's a good point. And when you are fasting, like you're saying about hydration specifically, Mario, it's so important to keep yourself hydrated in general.
Exactly.
Yeah. So making sure that you're drinking a lot of water. That's important. If you're going to do coffee, like Kevin said, like black coffee or even tea, the less calories, the better. So being intentional about focusing on that calorie intake for sure. That's good, guys. Yeah.
That's really focusing, like when you start off, you just know you're going to have a headache. Like, you're going to go through this and be non-headache free. Like you're going to get a headache quick and because your body's not used to it. Your body's used to you putting fuel into your body every now and then. And as soon as you're taking that away and you're just drinking water all day, like instantly you're going to be like, man, what's going on?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because your body is like not used to it. It's not used to it. So one of the main reactions to that is a headache, right? Yeah. It's a headache and discomfort. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Yes. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to Kevin and Mario individually. I have their Instagram handles right there in display for y'all. Thank you guys so much. Such an honor. It was such an honor. And for our viewers, I will have not only will I be uploading this video onto YouTube, this video will be on YouTube, but I'll also have this live available on my Facebook page to refer back to. Great job, great stuff, great discussion for sure. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all I hope you guys really got information, viewers. I hope y'all got information and writing these stuff down. And like I said, share this with any males, even females at this point, because we gave a lot of insight on how to just handle your body and how to be intentional about staying physically healthy. That's a wrap, guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. It was definitely fun. Definitely glad to be here.
For sure. Mario, go ahead and take care of that client of yours. Kevin, I hope y'all have a great night. Thank you guys. Of course, a question literally just popped up right now. Y'all want to answer it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do you suggest intermittent fasting helps stop the sugar cravings?
Yes, I can. Well, go ahead, Mario.
No, I was just saying it can and it can't. Like it can be one of those things that it's a result driven goal. So it could be beneficial for you, but then that fast is hard to say.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be a different variation of fast, which would be in a way like pick your sugar days and see that. So we're not fasting for hours in a day, but pick your sugar days. I say for a lot of my guys, pick 2 days for your cheat days. Pick your sugar days and see how you feel on those days without sugar. And you can still fast on those sugars. And a lot of times, usually it's the habit of sugar that we don't crave. Like we don't crave the donuts or anything. I don't crave donuts, sugary sweets, Jolly Ranchers, whatever it may be, because my body's not used to it.
Exactly.
So I'll definitely test it out that way.
Yeah. And I know this is a question for you two, but what I'll tag along and say is that one of a good substitute for sugar cravings is actual natural fruits. So if you are one that has to have that sugar, fruits such as bananas that are already high in that natural sugar, bananas, pineapples, your citrus fruits, that will also help with that craving as well. Believe it or not, it's something that I've tested in the past with clients, and it's worked. It actually has worked. If you're fasting though, so that long period, depending on, like Kevin said, that period of time that you're fasting, making sure that you're being intentional about after the fast, the days that you're not fasting, not eating, your heavy sugars, right? Being intentional about taking that fruit intake to help you when you do intermittent fast. So that was good. Go ahead, Kevin.
Last thing is just out of sight, out of mind. So once again, for those who have the kids and stuff like that, put them up in behind the fridge, like tell your wife to hide them or like do whatever you need to do that out of sight, because it's not that we're hungry or we're craving, it's what we see and then we begin to crave. That's one of the biggest factors, out of sight, out of mind.
That's good.
I even have it for my kids. Like they have juice and chip days only on Monday and Fridays.
That's good.
You go to school on Monday and Fridays, that's when you get chips and juice. But even if it's a holiday, I don't move it to Tuesday. Yeah. No, it's still Monday and Friday.
I know they'd be like, dang. That is so good. And before we leave, any additional information for people to be able to reach out to y'all? Do y'all want to give out any websites, anything like that?
Main site will be my Facebook, Kevin Franklin, which is my main driving force when it comes to content. In a way, in addition to the Instagram, KFrank _ WK Pro. Those are my main forms of platforms where I'd be producing more content. You get a little bit more in depth about like my protocol, my philosophy when it comes to overall health, wellness, the kingdom mindset, and so forth.
That's good. That's good. You, for you, Mario, just Instagram and Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, TaylorMade Complete Wellness is the Facebook. Then I also got TikTok for a little bit, but I'm not on there as much as I am on Instagram, which is wellness _ CTM.
Awesome. That's a wrap, guys. I think that's it. I was like waiting to see if something else was going to pop up. Good stuff. Thank y'all so much for your time. And I'll keep this broadcast and live available for our viewers to go back. And if you, like I said, if you have any questions for them, please feel free to reach out to their social media outlets to get some questions. All right. Thank you guys so much. I hope y'all have a great night. All right. Thank y'all. Take care.
Thank you.